Okay. Our note to self. If you have a positive product, when you multiply A times C, this is the part that I'll explain in a minute, okay? So we're just going to look at it. So a positive product, if I multiply A times C and get a positive, you've got same signs. Now, same signs means they're both positive or they're both negative. So the example would be positive in both binomials, negatives in both binomials. Okay? So this is going to help you when we are determining what goes inside the binomials. And again, I'll explain that in a little bit. Okay, now, if you have a negative product, then you've got different signs in your binomials. One is positive, one is negative. For example, plus and minus, or minus and plus. In your binomials, your signs are going to be opposites if you have a negative product when we multiply A times C. Okay? Now for the sum, which is a different situation here, for the sum, if you have same signs, we're going to add the two factors and get a sum. If you have different signs, we subtract to get the factors. Okay? And we're going to do a lot of this on the calculator, but I want you to understand what we're saying here, okay? Now, what I want you to do, we're going to add a little bit to this. Same signs means, I want you to add this, please. They're both positive or they're both negative. Okay? If they're different signs and we have to subtract, one is positive and one is negative. And it doesn't matter the order, but one is positive and one is negative. And our final piece of information that we need is that all fraction binomials, so if you've got fractions, they must be simplified and left in fraction form. There are no decimals here, okay? And we're going to use the A value that I'm working from, okay? And again, this will be explained here when we get started. But my example here is if you have 3 over 2, that is already simplified, and this would be my final answer there, okay? However, if you have 18 over 4, you have to simplify that 9 over 2 and leave it like that, okay? So there are no decimals here, okay? Fractions. So if you have a fraction, you get a fraction answer. That's how you leave it, okay? All right. Now, a couple other things we're going to write at the top, okay, so that you can understand a couple things I haven't explained yet. First of all, standard form for quadratics. And I know you know this, okay, this will bring it back to your memory. Ax squared plus bx plus c. This is standard form for quadratics. Okay? So A is with x squared always, B is always with the x, and C is always your constant. Okay? Keeping in mind that A times C is the product. Product means I multiply, A times C is your product. B is where we get the sum. Okay? Multiply A times C to get our product. That middle term, or the B value, is our sum. Okay? Okay, we'll be referring to that sum. All right, let's look at example number 1. What our goal is is to take this trinomial and find the binomials that we have been working with, right? So we have been taking binomials, multiplying them, right, distributing, and finding and getting this answer. Now we're going to take this answer and come up with these binomials. Here's how we do it. We make a T-chart. And as a reminder, in example 1, we're going to do a lot of writing, right? Because I want you to see we've got to have a good foundation. So these are our good foundational notes. So for number 1, make sure you're writing what I'm writing. Also, if you'll go ahead, if you haven't already, and open your calculators and get those going, that'd be great. You'll be glad that you did. Our T-chart is for product on the left, sum on the right. Product sum, that's what we refer to it, how we refer to it. Now, A times C. I am going to put a 1 here to work with. Because, as a reminder, in order to get my product, what do I multiply? A times C. Very good. All right, so example number 1, here we go. A times C is, somebody tell me, negative 50. I agree. What is my B? 5. Okay? Because B is the middle term of the one with just the variables. Okay, so what I need to do, product means to multiply, right? So I've got to multiply numbers together to get negative 50. Sum means to add them, and we got to get to 5. So calculator's open on reset, ready to go. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody is going to type what I type. I don't care if you already know it. We're going to practice this. Is everybody with me? Here we go. So what numbers will I multiply together to get negative 50? Well, as we said, if I have a negative product, what kind of signs do I have? Different ones. So now, because of space and the way I write, huge, I always make the first one negative and the second one not. That's just, it's on the outside, it makes it easier for me. Okay? We always start with 1. For now, we always start with 1. Now, negative 1 times 50 is a negative 50. So we make sure we multiply to get this answer. Now I'm going to come to the sum column, and I'm going to take my factors and add them. Negative 1 plus 50. Okay? And we get that answer. And for now, we're going to write it. Negative 1 plus 50, because I'm getting the sum here. So I'm adding. So in this column, I'm adding the factors I got in this column. So negative 1 plus 50 is 49. Now, in order to find all of the factors, we're going to start with 1 and count 1, then what? 2, right? So this is going to be a negative 2 times what? Well, if I don't know what that is, I'm going to take 50 and I'm going to divide it by 2. Now, I don't need the negative sign because I'm already putting that down here, so I don't need that. So I've got 50 divided by 2, and what do I get? Everybody's typing this in. 50 divided by 2, what do we get? 25. Now, I've got negative 2 plus 25. Okay, and if I don't know what that is, I'm just going to type that in here. So everybody's going to do that for me now. Negative 2 plus 25 because I'm in my sum column, so I've got to be adding here. And what do I get? 23. I agree. Now, I'm trying to get what number? 5. Am I there yet? No. Okay. So, I got to keep going. So, I've got 1, 2. What comes next? 3. 50 divided by 3. Is that a whole number? No. So, we don't use that. It's not a factor. Okay? All right. Miss Darnell, while you're out there, will you swing into the copy room and bring a mask in here, please? Okay, so 50 divided by 4, is that one a whole number? Well, I'll put the division sign in there, it might help. Is that one going to work? Is that a whole number? No, the answer is not a whole number. So let's go to the next one, 50 divided by 5. Does that work? Yep, got a whole number. And what is it? So 10. So I've got negative 5, it worked, times 10. Okay. Now in this column, I'm adding negative 5. Leona, raise your hand. There you go. Plus 10. And then what is negative 5 plus 10? Oh, isn't that what I was looking for? I'm looking for 5. Did I get 5? Yes, I did. When I'm adding and subtracting, I'm looking for the 5. That's all this column is for. I only use my sum column so I can find my factors. Those are my factors. So here's how it works. What variable are we using? R. R, negative 5. R, positive 10. That's my answer. Okay? Now, we're going to check it. And in order to check it, we distribute. Here we go. What is R times R? R squared. What is R times 10? Positive 10R. What is negative 5 times R? Negative 5R. What is negative 5 times 10? Okay. My final answer, because I can combine the two in the middle, right? R squared. Didn't I multiply to get R squared? Yes. Plus 5R. How did I get the 5R? What did I do with these two numbers? Added them. 10 plus negative 5, right? And then how did I get negative 50? Multiply. So it checks out. So I'm going to put a little check mark there. So that is the reason that the product is A times C, because I multiply to get those, add to get that middle term. That's why their product sum, and that's why the negative 50 is a product and the positive 5 is a sum, because I multiplied to get the negative 50 and added to get the 5. Okay. Let's go down to number 3. All right, here we go. T-chart, product, sum. This does take a little practice, so we are going to practice. Okay. I'm going to put the 1 here to work with it. What is 1 times negative 10? I agree. What is my sum? Negative 3. Remember, the signs have to go with it. Okay. So again, I have a negative product. That means my first number is going to be negative. Negative 1 times 10. I always start with 1. Even if I don't write it, when we get to big numbers, like, well, anyway, we get to big numbers, you may just need to go through your brain. You don't always have to write it, but you always need to start with 1 in your head and work your way down. But, all right, so here we go. So I've got negative 1 times 10. And then in this column, what do I do with those? We add them. Negative 1, sum means to add. What is negative 1 plus 10? But I'm trying to get negative 3. Am I there? That's not it. Okay. Then 10 divided, already divided by 1 and I knew that one. So I'm going to divide by 2. What do I get? 5. So negative 2 times 5. I know it was negative 10, so I'm still there, making sure I'm getting a negative 10 every time. Okay, now in this column, I'm going to add them. Negative 2 plus 5. What does that equal? Huh. I have the right number, wrong sign. What do I do? Switch it. So this needs to be a positive 2 and a negative 5. Because 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Or you can say plus negative. Whatever you need to do there. Okay? So what I know is I got the right number. So I stop. That's how I know when to stop, is when my sums match up. Okay? And these are my factors. So my answer is, things out of the way. What variable are we working with? X. What kind of 2? Positive 2. What kind of 5? Negative. And that's my answer. And it goes along with my note to self that says, if I have a negative product, what do the signs have to be? Opposites. So these are opposite signs. I know. Mr. Darnell, I can't fix that today. Can't care. Okay. Now do you have questions? Now that we've done a couple of them, Devin, you're going to keep that mask on your face or you're going to get out over your nose. Thank you. Questions? Come on. So you're saying that you can all do this now? I just give you a quiz. Thank you, Leon. Awesome. Let's look at number 5. Okay, here we go. Here's my T-chart. Product, sum. Okay. I'm going to put a 1 here to work with it. Okay. Leona, how do I get the product? Yeah, AC. Mm-hmm. And so in this case, what is 1 times 12? Okay. There we go. Yeah, it's important they be in the right place. I agree. And so the sum is 8, right? Okay. So are you good with that? Okay. Okay. Now, this is a product. Product means I multiplied to get this answer. So now what I want to know is, what are all the factors? What are all the numbers I can multiply together to get 12? 1 times 12 is, okay. And I write them out so I'll have the factors together. when I'm done. Okay? All right. What else can I multiply together to get 12? Four times. But okay. So do you see what I'm saying? See how you're jumping around? I want to cure that for you. That's why I start with 1 and I go to what is 12 divided by 2? So 2 times 6. Okay. Now go to 3. 3 times what is 12? 4. Now what's after 3? But I already have it, don't I? That's how I know when to stop. Okay? Now, let's check our sum. Now, Leona, when we go over here, now this is all my multiplying. This is my product side. Now I'm adding what I put here. 1 plus 12 is 13, not 8. Right? I'm trying to get to that 8. 2 plus 6 is, got it. I only use the sum column to find my factors. So you don't always need them. And I wouldn't have gone to this point, but I wanted to go here to show you how that works. Does that clear it up for you? Excellent. I like it. Okay. So now my variable is r. I've got a positive 2 and r and a positive 6. And those are my binomials. Any other questions? Any questions? Mona, how you doing? Okay? Gonna hang in there? Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's look at number 4. It's a little bit bigger number. We're going to do our product. Now, I'm not going to write these out. Okay? I'm just going to put my answers over here. Because you can just use your calculator. I don't want you thinking you always have to write all that out. Because you don't. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to put my 1 here. All right. What is my product here? Thank you. Negative 56. What is my sum? 1. Excellent. Remember, if there's a variable there, I have a 1 in front of it. Very good. Okay. Now this is one of those situations where we don't need to write it all out, okay? But we are going to always start with what number? 1. And this is negative, so I've got negative 1 times 56. And then that would be 55. And again, you're going to type this in your calculator as you need to. Okay? Now, negative 2 times, now how do I find that out? How do I find out what 2 times 1 equals 56? We divide. Very good. 56 divided by 2, what do we get? 28. I agree. So 2 times 28, and then negative 2 plus 28, very good. It's 26. I'm trying to get 1. Am I there yet? Not exactly. Okay, so what number is next? 3. 56 divided by 3 is, oh, that's not going to work, is it? All right, 56 divided by 4. There we go. So 4 times, I got to use a negative 4, times 14. And what is negative 4 plus 14? Are we there yet? Nope. Okay, got to keep going. Here we go. So I used 4. So now we know 5 is not going to work, right? I know that, so we're not going to do that one, but if you don't, you keep going. 56 divided by 6, what do we get? Oh, that didn't work either. 56 divided by 7. Okie doke. 7, so I'm going to use negative 7 times 8, because remember they have to both be the same sign. What is negative 7 plus 8? Oh, we found it. Got a 1, got a 1. Here are my factors. Okay? So you just keep dividing, starting with 1, go to 2, go to 3, and get them so you find your sum. And our variable is x. What kind of 7? Negative 7. And what kind of 8? And I don't know why I keep getting that so close to my teeth, I don't know. But there's my final answer. Question. Okay, so here's what I know. I know that you really find your questions when you try to get the answer yourself, right? So I need you to work number 6, please. Work number 6 and see what you come up with. Okay. Check your answer with mine. Oh, I like that y'all checking answers. I like that. How did you got that? Excellent. Excellent. Notice how I gave you an easy one to get you going. You're welcome. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now I want you to work number 8, please. Work number 8. That one should take a little more work there. Okay, I'm just laying stuff here. If you're not ready, don't look. If you're ready, look. If you're stuck, look. Okay? If you have questions, ask me now. I do want you to know if you made this negative and this positive, that matters because I wouldn't get a negative sum. So make sure, oh look, I got the not right number, wrong sign. Make sure you move that sign over. Questions. Okay. For those of you that are ready, I will go ahead and tell you what your homework is going to be.